Hello, welcome to my palm reading example video. Today we're talking about the marriage line and the fate line. I've got a couple of pictures to show you so I can help explain, and I shall be drawing on the picture as I normally do. I'll bring them up straight away for you so we don't have to wait. Potentially, there it is. So I have first here the marriage lines. They're also called relationship lines or union lines, or sometimes fertility lines. There's many other names for them, but today we are calling them marriage lines. And they are found on the side of the palm, on the edge, under the pinky, on the side of the Mercury mount. So this area here, and on the image on the left here, there is a clear marriage line right in the center. Standard timing for the line in the middle is around the age of 30 to 33. However, I've seen this line on people who have married a lot younger than that. So the timing is really unreliable. So we definitely won't rely on that, especially because this is the non-dominant hand. So I tend to read the timing on a more accurate scale on the dominant hand. So on this left hand as the non-dominant, it is representing a single union. However, underneath there is a very fine line. They call that, because it's very close, it's parallel to it, they call that an affair line. It doesn't necessarily mean that there is an affair in the relationship, or that the person is having an affair, but it represents like a remnant memory of a relationship. So it's possible that this person had a union prior to the main union or main marriage or main relationship, and it has left a mark that's still there, maybe in the memory of the person. It may also be a past life connection to the person, and maybe that if you believe in past lives, it may have been somebody who has been in your past life before. So there's a variation of meanings to that. So it's up to people how they wish to interpret it. So on the right hand, which is in this case, a dominant hand, there is a clear line. It's a fine line, but there is a line here for an early relationship, potentially quite young as per norm, like maybe under 20 years of age. And then there is pretty much the same marriage line as on the non-dominant hand. There is a slight fork at the beginning of it, so that may have been some sort of a difficult beginning to the union. However, it is a long relationship or a deep bond because of the nature of it. It is a long line and it's quite well etched. So in that case, there is also a third line. So this third line represents a potential for another union. If something was to happen to this relationship, that there will be another potential union. We can't trust these lines as a future prediction, but as an estimate of if something was to happen to that original one, that then there is a chance that there will be another replacement relationship. So the timing again is quite difficult to be exact about. So in general, the middle of the mark, probably around the 30. Anything above that is beyond 30. Anything below that is under the age of 30. So let's bring the fate line. Here is the fate line that I've drawn over so that we can see it clearly, because the photo wasn't all that clear. So fate line is also called a career line or Saturn line or luck line. However, I'll be calling it a fate line right now because it does represent more than just career. The fate line represents your motivation, changes in life, potentially your goals, your hobbies, your studies, and the direction that your life might go. Because the lifeline mostly travels around the thumb ball and kind of is just a one track. Sometimes the lifeline is broken up, and then you might see that there is major changes on the lifeline, but most of the change is more visible on the fate line. So in this case, we are focusing on this black line, and you can see it starts around this area, which is quite deep into the Mount of Moon, and that does represent a strong moon energy. So the person, if they know their astrological chart, they may have a strong planet in the moon area, so a strong star sign in the moon. So maybe that represents the person quite a bit in their personality, and potentially regarding the career as well, being outside the norm. So the person lives their life outside what normal people might consider a career. So she probably didn't go to university to study, be a veterinary surgeon as per the family, for instance, just an example. So she probably chose her own path. That's not like a family decision. Make her own external fate decision. So you can see that it's not a straight line. In the case of somebody, for instance, who becomes a doctor, they're likely to have a very straightforward, clear line on where they're heading, and it stays in that position. But because this line changes quite a bit, that's where there's life changes. The first one here is a bit of a curve happening. So the line takes a turn. So that shows that the life takes a bit of a turn. And this is approximately, we're looking at approximately 27 years of age, give or take. And then the line seems to sort of smooth out until some of these some of these called stress or worry lines come and hit that area. So then there's something happening around that age as well, around 28 onwards up to 30, and so that may be something that provokes change again, because another line, another worry line crosses straight over this fate line at the point where it crosses this line here, which is the headline. So when it crosses at that point, that is approximately age 35, sorry. Then you can see that the fate line continues fairly well without too many interruptions. There may be a couple of other interfering lines there, but nothing major. It's fairly straight line from around 35 right up until the approximate age of 44 to 46. The line seems to split into two ways, so that can represent like a side hustle, a business, and potentially another income source, or it can just represent the goals branching out in a different direction but still continuing in one direction, but just having something else that it stops here at the heart line. So something that the person is passionate about potentially, and then once it stops at this heart line, there is a line that reaches towards the success line. So it is seemingly something that the person may be doing regarding their passion in life, and potentially being a successful venture, or it is just representing like a business or other hobby on the side. But the line again changes around the age of 50 when it clashes with the heart line. You can see that the line is quite weak from then on. It's chopping and changing. What that means usually is that the line is still forming. So anything can still happen. This line can still turn into one straight line over the years, or it can break up even more. So it's either in the verge of forming a line or in the verge of breaking up. Or if it stays as it is, if this line doesn't change in the future, then that means that approximately every 5 years there's some chopping and changing in the life path, career goals or life goals. Looks like approximately every 4 to 5 years that there's a little bit of a change happening there. But like I said, these lines can change over time, so it's always fun to just keep an eye on them over the years and see if you have new lines growing and old lines fading, things like that. So I hope you've enjoyed that quick lesson, and I look forward to doing more of these. Please join my channel if you'd like a chance to have your hand featured in a video. You can go to the description of my videos, and there's a link there for information about joining my channel and become a VIP member. Thanks very much, and I'll look forward to the next one. See ya.